Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new vision of our base. It's quite a change. It feels so much different to how it used to feel. It feels much more enclosed and like hidden away as opposed to being open and in this large big plains area. It's just amazing how much of an impact a whole bunch of trees can have, for that matter. Quite a lot of trees. Actually, if we go into statistics real quick, and blocks times used, saplings, oak saplings. This is over the whole time, but it's still quite a lot. Over 2,700 saplings. I don't know how many exactly I've placed here. I should have checked my stats before I started placing all these, but that is a crazy amount of saplings overall anyway. Yeah, so what you've probably gathered by now is that we are reshaping our area of our base to somewhat of a custom biome. It's not going to be anything too extreme. I am taking a little bit of inspiration from, if you've seen my old Game Mode 4 episode of the same name as this episode, back on Public Server 2, which I completely covered the Savannah Island in snow and then grew a whole bunch of trees and put ice spikes and stuff, but the only real similarity I'm going to have between the two is the large spruce trees or mega tiger trees, or whatever you want to call them, redwood trees. But I'm going to go for quite a cozy, I don't know if cozy is the right word, but a nice kind of enclosed forest area. So it's not going to be cold or snowy. I am kind of thinking of going towards a bit stony, so using a lot of andesite and smooth stone and just making kind of patches of that around here, but also going to use quite a bit of podzol, I think, just to kind of make it feel a bit more like a mega tiger, but not quite like a mega tiger. And we do have all the trees and such like that, so it's going to be interesting. I've got kind of an idea in my head. It's something I'm gradually working on as I think about it, but for now I am very happy with how these trees have kind of changed the feel of our base here. And if you noticed, I kind of added in the forest areas just small spruce trees, and that was kind of trying to differentiate the feel between different biomes that are already here. And I think it worked out alright. Plus I quite like this little waterway here with the small spruce trees surrounding it. I did have about, over 20 or so. I must have had at least 30 mega spruce trees here that I was going to use. Fortunately, I got a heap of saplings donated to me from a couple of different people, and I spent about probably an hour cutting down trees before I actually started planting all these. But enough rambling for now, because I'm going to head back over here, and I've got some resources ready to go, but not too many, just some in the form of nothing in that one. Podzol, some ferns, some more spruce trees. I probably won't use those. Moss stone, and I did have a bunch of andesite too. As you can see, it's all filled up, so I've got quite a bit of stuff to work with. I've just got to get going and see what I can do to reshape this biome a little bit more. I've gotten started with the ground level. I've done quite a few little patches around a kind of main area here. Got some over here, and I'm kind of just throwing in some ferns here and there to try and break it up a little bit more. I'm going to come through, I think, and add some kind of bit more depth to it. I'm not sure how I do that, whether it's going to be little bushes like we've got here, or maybe some type of slabs to make it look a bit more kind of rough rock kind of thing. So I'm going to be doing it around all the key places. As you can see, we've got around all the pathways and stuff here, and just kind of off around where we'll be spending most of our time at our base here. But I also want to go through and just random parts of this forest and just kind of add little areas of it. I am kind of leaning towards replacing most of it, and I probably will end up doing it, but for the meantime I'm kind of just doing patches here and there, kind of big areas and strips, and kind of just filling it in and adding a bit of variation. As you guys can see in this little part here is quite a good example of how it just kind of is there without really doing too much. It's just a little way to differentiate the plains biome to what it was and make it more of a custom area. So I'm going to keep going through and adding that into parts around these pathways here. That also needs fixing. Also, what I want to do is make some pathways that lead to the outside of the forest. At the moment it's all enclosed here and there's no real or no direct way out. So what I might do is just go through and make some grass paths just like we've got here, and that just lead to the edge of the forest here. Also, I don't like how that kind of right up next to it. I might just trim that back. At a little bit better. So this episode is going to be quite a lot of just going around and figuring out how I want to do this. Why is there ice there? That's interesting when you're in the grass path that thinks you're a block lower. Anyway, so I'm just going to go through and just keep doing little bits of detail here and there. And progressively I'll just update you guys on how I'm changing and what I'm changing to kind of customize this area around our base. I don't know when it happened, but my villages are all gone. And to be frank, I'm not sure how they would have gone either. Nothing should have been able to get in here. And there shouldn't have been anywhere for anything to spawn. They shouldn't be able to spawn there. Huh. Unless they like spawned up. No, they can't spawn up there. I got torches all along there. Mind you, they may have. I have absolutely no idea, but since they're gone, I mean, I don't know. I probably would have ended up doing something with them, but since they're gone, I'm not going to bother. I mean, I might just go get some more villagers later on. I might leave that one down there for now, in case we do decide to make another breeder and get some more villagers going, but at the meantime, I don't really have any intentions of doing anything, so let's just dig out all this glass and... Oh. Okay, it was my fault. I killed the villagers. I broke that glass block down there, I'm pretty sure, when I was moving villagers to fill up the iron farm. Okay, right. We killed the villagers. They're all dead. I've just emptied out my inventory, got rid of all of the old stones and dirts and grasses and all that I was using, because I've done basically as much as I kind of have time for. I could happily do a lot more to really spread out between the forest here, but I am so happy with how it is looking at the moment. I've just been absolutely flat out this week, as per every other week recently. I am now doing 5 days a week, so I'll be doing 5-day weeks, which means that I don't have Tuesday to work on existence anymore, which is going to be a real big problem. But I'll talk more about that later, and hopefully an upcoming channel update. I know I've said that many weeks in a row now that will be happening, but I am getting a bunch of new equipment, so I'll talk about that then. For now though, I am really quite happy with how it is looking. It really does help to change the feel of the area, as opposed to just being a whole bunch of trees planted. It does make it feel like a bit more of a customized biome. While not being exactly a replica of Mega Tiger, it does kind of have that hint of it, but is definitely a lot different with all the stones and grass, breaking it up with all like the... Added a little bit of grass paths in here and there. I want to go through and add some more though. I have run out of ferns. I'm going to grab some more of those too at some point, probably from the Mega Tiger. Not the Mega Tiger, just the normal tiger near spawn, kind of where Caney and Mad Cat are. But for now, I'm going to be focusing on the Nether portal because, honestly, I don't really have too much I want to change regarding our biome here. I did want to keep it decently simplistic, just to kind of fit with that whole... Well, Minecraft biomes themselves are quite simplistic. Don't really have too many block variants, and I'm not going to go all out like Duo is with his incredible landscaping skills. As much as I can use, like, I'm not going to be completely like humble. I do have quite decent landscaping skills, and I can do quite a good job in creative mode, but generally in survival I don't tend to do too much, or at least I don't do as much as I would like. But in small condensed areas I definitely do enjoy it, so I might come around, I don't know, focus on some smaller areas at some point later on in the future, but saying later on in the future probably means I won't end up doing it. So for now, like I said, I want to focus on the Nether portal here, make this a bit more of an official entrance as opposed to just being a lone 3x3 portal here. So gonna keep it in the same place, make it a little bit bigger, possibly take out these trees just so it's a bit more open, and decorate it up with all of our granites and bricks and birch leaves. We've got some note blocks there, lots of andesite, and we also have a crazy amount of spruce wood, probably enough to last us for probably forever, to be honest. That's going to be a lot of wood that I probably won't need, so I am going to get started. First off, probably take out this portal. Oh, a pigman just spawned. Hello. Take out that portal, do a little bit of reshaping. I'm just trying to think now how I want to do it compared to the portal on the other side. I would kind of like to have the matching just to give that consistency, so Not sure, I'll do a little bit of thinking on that. But anyway, I'm going to get started on that, and I'll get back to you guys after that. It's going to be a little bit of a talky talk, dragged out episode. Just because of the time restraints I am on at the moment. I'm running incredibly late, as you guys are probably aware. But anyway, without further ado, I'll get started and see how we get on there. At the moment, I've just kind of pushed it back a little bit and made it a little bit taller and trying to grow in some more trees down this little pathway here. And I've also covered up the beacon. I'm trying to kind of make it blend in a little bit, and it is kind of working. I do like the look of it. I like how you can see the iron kind of popping through occasionally there. But it's just nice and subtle. I'm going to work with it a little bit more because it is still quite rough. Like, it's got quite sharp edges as opposed to being a little bit smoother. I've tried to do that a little bit here and a little bit down here too. So it's a work in progress. Ouch, I am dropping some serious frames, and I think I know exactly why too. Let's just go fix that quickly. So yes, we've kind of got this covering over the beacon here, kind of growing over the top with the kind of grass and the stones and such. And I'm going to continue that around this side and also do it for the beacon over here, because generally what I do with my beacons is I bury them right underneath the ground at the very bottom. That way you get the effects all the way from bedrock to the top. But I don't really see myself doing many like underground stuff anytime soon, and if we do, we can move them down. That's not a problem, but at the moment I don't really have plans for underground, especially underground on our base, so they can stay up top. I'm going to kind of merge this one like we're doing with the one over here. So maybe I should put a path around here. I don't know, I'm trying to make myself use the pathways properly because at the moment I've been cutting through everything. I don't know, it's a kind of mental thing, I guess, rather than physical. So what I'm going to do now is make some type of a structure around this. I'm thinking of having it kind of come around the side and kind of curve just a little bit. Nothing too dramatic, just to here, so it kind of makes it more of a structure rather than just a random portal in the middle of nowhere, because that kind of was my intention at the end of the day, was to have it more kind of structured. So I'm going to grab some materials. I'm also trying to think here how I really want to make this area quite densely packed and quite bushy and very kind of close quarters. I don't really know what to say, but as opposed to when you come out into the open part here, so have it quite a narrow, narrow pathway leading over the nether portal there, and then you come out to the open part here. I think that might be kind of cool, especially with a little bit of a structure built around the sides of the portal there. But yeah, so I'm going to grab some resources and bricks and stuff like that. Kind of just go with random kind of placing and see how it looks afterwards, kind of style that we've been doing so far. Similar to what I've got here. I might use some cobblestone walls. Actually, I'm not sure. They should be in here. Yes, they are. I got plenty of them. Cool. So I'm going to get down my inventory. Gonna stop saying so many times and just get building. It's hard to get the right feel for what I'm trying to do here without making it too flat, like giving it some depth, but also just having it a nice kind of curve around. I do like that shape, but I'm not really liking how it's going here at the moment, just with it being so like flush there. So I'm wondering if I do. Also, I'm trying not to overload it with like the same kind of blocks right next to each other, so I've kind of added this mix here. I feel like it should be a lot different to how it is. Like maybe that should be a pattern. So instead of being different sides, hang on, let's just take this bit out so I can kind of explain it further. So we replicate this bit here. So what is that? That's bricks and then, sorry, no block, bricks and then 2. So if we go 1, 2, bricks, no block. See, now it looks silly because there's a uneven amount there. Okay. I did like how it looked before, so let's try that again. What do we have? I can't even remember now. Oh boy. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like this, I think. Or along these lines anyway. No, it was a little bit different to this, but we'll give it a go. Okay, that's not too bad. What if we took this bit out and changed that up a bit? So it was like this. So that kind of keeps the pattern going, but also it's... Oh, no, that's far too messy. I don't like that at all, actually. Let's just try to take this bit out. And try... 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Okay, that's better, but it's still, that's not good there. It's too noisy, there's too much going on. And that looks too bland. Right, this is becoming a pain already. I want to go back to how it was before. That's a bit better. I quite like that a little bit more. It's not too much happening. Oh, ISO's here. Nice. I wonder if we take these out. Will that... Very fancy. I do like that a little bit better. Maybe if we even take these out. Actually, I'll tell you what. If we do that, perhaps. No, not entirely convinced. Not entirely convinced. Try it this way around. I like that. That's a lot better, because it kind of makes this bit look a bit more reinforced and built up, and then it kind of has that little bit just sticking out there. Actually, I wonder if I've got... Maybe... Is that going to be too much? No, that's okay, that's okay. And maybe... there and there? No, that needs to be something else. Too much bricks going on there, too many bricks. What I might try though, is if I grab these... I hate how it resets that. Probably would have been quicker to actually craft them manually. Some slabs. Come on. There you go, that's a bit better. I quite like that. Right, I'm going to replicate this on the other side and see how it looks. I mean, you probably won't be able to see much because it's going to be cut off by that tree. Plus, it's really quite dark. But hopefully it'll look quite good. It hasn't made too much of a difference with the other side built in there, as we already had the tree there blocking most of it, but it definitely does help to kind of make the portal more kind of powerful and overwhelming as you approach it. It's quite big, and you really do feel enclosed in this area here with these two walls and the portal in the middle there. But what I'm going to do is come around the back, because I want to cover up the behind the portal here, so when you come through you just walk straight out that way and don't turn around and there's just nothing behind it. So I'm just going to probably keep it nice and simple, nothing too fancy. Just make it up as we go along. So maybe I'm going to throw those down, and what have we got above us? Nothing. Bit of granite, some more bricks, and maybe just top it off with granite again. That's really all I want to do. I'm not sure if I want to do anything up here. Let's just throw those down there perhaps, and I don't know, maybe that on the corner. Alright, let's see how this looks. Looks alright. I mean, you can't really tell what's behind here. You can see that there's something there, and it does help to just kind of enclose it a little bit more. It looks a little bit odd with the with those here. What I might do is take out the bricks there and put that like that, so we've got a bit more of a pattern, so that way when you look through... Oh, there's ISO and a skeleton. You look through, you get that pattern. Yeah, that's a bit better. I quite like that a little bit more. And actually, I'll tell you what I'll do is actually do the same thing up here. I'm not going to be able to reach, am I? Nuts. Right, let's just climb up and put those down there. And then climb down and see how that looks. I built it wrong. Hang on a second. There we go. That's a bit better, and that looks pretty cool. Is that just... So what have I done here? Because that looks lighter than that, but I guess it's just... Oh, we've got the torches. Oops. The torches there. So, that is the nether portal done, which is looking good. I'm going to be working on that tunnel next episode, finishing that off and making it a lot more... Well, completing it, basically. So, that is going to do it for this episode, because I've been so busy this week. I haven't been able to make as much progress as I'd like, but it's definitely changed this area quite substantially, so I'm very happy with the result there. However, I haven't really done as much as I would have liked, but I did hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless, because, I mean, existence is pretty hard to make because of my time restrictions at the moment, but I am happy with the progress we are making. Lots of stuff's going to be happening soon regarding my videos. I'll have a channel update out later, like I said, but definitely happy with the results, and definitely happy with the forest we've managed to grow around here. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.